What's up, Lego builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for another week of building Utapau. This week is going to be more of a filler week. I didn't really make a ton of progress in a specific area or really focus on one area. I'm going to kind of just be jumping around doing a lot of little things as I'm kind of trying to figure out the next stage that I want to focus on for Utapau. So there are always a million little things that need to be done, so I think this week I'm going to tackle some of those. I will be showing you guys some more lighting stuff. I'm going to be lighting up the front platform arch area. Some of you guys have already seen it on some live streams, but this will be the first time it's been seen in an update. I also am starting on some inner cavern rockwork, what's going to be holding up the upper rock wall and kind of creating the back wall of the cavern. So excited to show you guys what that's going to look like. But enough talk, let's get into the build. This week I'm going to be messing around with lighting once again, and now that back here's mostly lit up and I'm just waiting on parts to finish, I've jumped up here to this front part and I'm going to be lighting up this catwalk area. But before I get into that, I kind of want to give you guys an update on what's been done on Utapau so far. So in yesterday's stream, I was finally able to duplicate this side over here. So now both sides have the piping running along the front, and I think it looks really good. I think what I'm going to do is just cut it off right here and kind of do something similar right here as I did up there, kind of just making it look like it just dips back into the pillar. These didn't really have any major purpose other than to add some aesthetic detail to the front of the pillar. And then over here I added some tile on this tower part right here. I don't know if you guys remember, but last week or last update, I guess, I didn't have the tiling right here for part of the video, and I forgot to mention that I added it in because I felt like it needed to continue all the way across. Even though it breaks right here and right here, I still think it looks better having it on these sections than if I didn't have it at all. So I was forced to raise up this tower one brick, so I was able to put those in, but I think it looks okay. I don't think the added height will do anything negative, and if nothing else, I think it'll make the building look a little bit taller and a little bit bigger. I'm also going to be doing a quick review of this custom Tri-Droid designed by Clone Plays and comparing it to the official LEGO version. Now back to these lights. I am so excited with how these lights are turning out so far. So what I've done is I've just taken some bricks and put them on their side. This was a great suggestion in last week's update. I was asking for ideas on what to do to cover this top, and a couple people said just use snot. And I think this will work out great. Because I'm using snot, I can now put bricks and holes in the side, which allows me to run wires and attach lights to this, which is what you guys are going to see in a second. I'm having trouble focusing on what I need to, so I'm going to stick this base plate behind here to help it focus on the right stuff. But what I'm trying to decide this week is whether or not I should use 3 lights or just 2 lights. I was messing with this on yesterday's stream and the responses were kind of mixed. So the thing with 2 lights is I feel like it doesn't light it up maybe enough, but 3 lights is a little bit too much. I think the 2 might be what I'm going for, but I'll show you guys both just to give you an idea of what I'm working with, and maybe some of you guys who didn't tune into the stream can let me know what you think. So this is what it looks like with 3 lights. You can see it does look really cool, and I think 3 lights is a very visually appealing number. However, I'm afraid of this being too bright right here, and as I'm filming the finale, I don't want that to mess with the image or the brightness of the rest of the mock. I want it to be a rather dim light. And another thing I was thinking is just how realistic would this be? Because you can see these 2 clone troopers up here are kind of being blasted with light right now. And I don't think whoever built this, would want to have that much light up here. I feel like it's mainly just to add a little bit of extra glow because you're starting to get inside the cavern. And this is what 2 lights looks like. The lights are a little bit more spread out, so I think if I do end up going with 2, I'm going to take this middle one out and I'm going to scoot each of these lights into the center one. That way they're kind of centered a little bit better, or I might just leave it. I honestly don't know at this point. I do want to show you guys what it looks like with the lights off. I think with the lights off you can better gauge how much brightness each different style is putting out. With the lights off at only 2, you can see it's plenty bright up there. There's a whole lot of light, and so I think this is probably what we're looking for. But just in case, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like with 3 lights. So this is the 3rd light right here, and it just makes it very bright. Although I gotta admit it, guys. I think 3 lights looks more visually appealing than 2. So what I could do is just kind of scoot these lights further back this way so they're more inside the cavern. That way, you would get the glow like this, but you wouldn't actually see the light. So that could help with the camera issues I'm worried about while still providing a lot of light up there. So let me know what you guys think, if I should do 3 lights or 2 lights down below in the comments. If you need a comparison, you can jump back and forth in the video till you get a good idea of what you like better. Now for a little Tri-Droid review. Like I said earlier, this was designed by a YouTuber by the name of Clone Plays. I'll put a link down below to his channel in the description if you want to check him out. He does a lot of cool custom designs. So the reason I decided to go with his over the Lego version is this is a little bit bigger, and I like the upper turret area a lot better than Lego's, right? Lego's just has the flick fire missiles, but he went to the extent of putting in the eyes, the cannons. You've got 3 very posable legs, and it's a little bit taller than the Lego version, so I think I can do a lot more with this one, and I feel like this highly more detailed Tri-Droid complements Utapau much more than the Lego version does. You can really see how the custom one excels and looks better when compared to Lego's version. Lego's version just looks so sad compared to it. Now, I'm nothing against Lego's version. I think it's a really cool little vehicle, but obviously, custom is going to be better, and I can do a lot more with the legs, and it stands a lot taller. I think it's closer to minifigure scale, so I think this will cut a more imposing figure on the battlefield than this little guy will with his flick fire missiles. As of right now, I'm thinking about having a total of 3 Tri-Droids on the mock, but I do have the parts for a 4th one, and I think I might end up going with 4. I'm just going to have to wait until I start putting out the minifigures, because I don't want the battleground to be too overcrowded, because not only will I be using the Tri-Droids, but I'm going to have crab droids as well. You've got the clone troopers, the ATTE, super battle droids, regular battle droids, and the separatist shuttle. So I don't want it to be overcrowded, so that'll all depend. But yeah, very happy with the Tri-Droid, and I'm excited for you guys to see it in the final showcase. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is what's been going on behind and on top of this building right here. So I finally started to build the rock wall, and basically what I'm trying to do is replicate what down here is, because it's all one large rock wall, right? This area was just kind of carved out or created somehow, I'm not really sure, inside the cavern. So I'm trying to make them look similar, and I think so far I'm doing a fairly good job. I think up here may look a little bit better than down here once it's finished, just because my technique and building has improved a lot since doing down here, and I started this, almost 6 months ago. So I'm going to keep building right here. It's going to come right here, then come around on that back side, and then I'm probably going to build to about right there. That's probably where the roof of the cavern is going to be. For the back here, I'm using a rather special technique. I'm not sure if other people do this, but it's something I started doing with Utapau, and I absolutely love doing it. So this is a great thing to do if you don't have a lot of space and you're building, tall rock walls. So let me explain what I'm doing here. So basically, I put a wall of bricks behind this first layer of slopes or whatever it is in the front, as tall as that first layer is, and then from there I continue to build up and back. So as you guys can see, it's almost like I'm building 2 rock walls. So we've got the front rock wall here, and then the filler brick one back here. And typically, what you would think you would do with filler brick for a rock wall is like build back out, back about this far, build a giant wall like this, have it come forward, and then build onto that. That's what I thought I was going to be doing initially, but I realized you're able to build on top of the existing filler brick. As long as you do it right and you make sure everything's secured well, you can continue to build on that, and it's actually really strong. Because one of my fears was, this won't provide enough structural integrity and strength to be able to support this and hold whatever's up here, but it actually works really well. So if you're working with limited space like I am, because I can't just run brick all the way back here, because I've got lights down here, there's just a big hole right there. I don't have a lot of plate down there. This is a great option to try out. Time for one last update of the week. So these came in today, which are the rest of my lights that I needed to hopefully light up that building over there. It's kind of a bunch of random stuff. You've got a couple extension boards, some LED light strips, some individual lights, some connector cables, and a light. I'm going to be doing a lighting video next week on how to use this stuff and kind of a beginner's guide to lighting up your mocks. So stay tuned for that. I also do have most of my Utapau troopers set up to kind of give you guys an idea of what kind of army is going to be assaulting Utapau. And this is 39 Utapau troopers. I do have about 7 more. So I'm going to have around 46 troopers in the end. I don't anticipate buying any more, but you guys know me. If I find a good deal, I'll end up snagging it. So there could possibly be more in the future. The reason the other 7 aren't shown here is because 3 are in the mail and then 1 is still in the Utapau Trooper Battle Pack, and it's still in its kind of container or box or whatever. I haven't opened it up yet. And then one last thing, I'm going to give you guys another update on what's going on with the lights here. I'm still really torn on whether or not to go with 2 or 3 lights. Currently, I have 2 up here, and that's kind of what I decided on. However, that was a very uncertain decision, and I can't get the 3 light look out of my mind, so I may end up going back. Honestly, it might not be that hard to change it in the future if I just continue to build and leave this area maybe partially done or mostly done and come back to it in the future once I get a better idea of what I want to do. Anyways, that wraps up this week of building Utapau. Thanks for checking in. Time to hit that outro. I hope you guys enjoyed this week of building Utapau. I didn't make a ton of progress, this wasn't an explosive or exciting week like some weeks are. However, I think, I was still able to keep a steady amount of progress going. Obviously, another update came out. And while I didn't do the best that I could have done on this mock this week, I think, we're still moving towards the ultimate goal of being done by the end of March. I was really busy this week and had a lot of other things coming up and that came up, so that kind of played into the factors as to why not a whole lot was done in this update, as well as I'm waiting on more parts. And like I said in the intro, I don't really know what I want to focus on next. I'm really stumped with the other side of the cavern where I haven't done any buildings. That's kind of why it's so naked over there, just because I'm kind of intimidated to tackle that. And I'm not sure what I'm going to put over there structure-wise. All that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up. And as always, if you're new to the channel and you like this video, please consider subscribing so you won't miss out on future content. But until next time, happy building.